Hello everyone and welcome back to a new Simply Slow Traveler video. Today I'm taking you to Deià, one of the most picturesque villages in Mallorca, set in the heart of the Serra de Tramuntana, with beautiful views over the mountains and the sea. In this video, which is sponsored by Saily, we stayed at Belmond La Residencia, a beautiful hotel overlooking the village of Deià. We arrived at the hotel in the early afternoon, and the light was absolutely beautiful. Everything felt very calm and peaceful, so we started with a drink outside, just taking in the views over the village and the mountains, before slowly exploring some of the hotel grounds.
So I heard there's a little tradition here. This is going to be one of the biggest weddings of the season, which of course it always. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Chicago's next top power couple and my own.
La Residencia really feels like it belongs to Deià. It is spread across stone buildings, gardens and terraces, and as you walk around, you keep finding these quiet corners that make the hotel feel a natural extension of the village. For our stay, we were welcomed into a beautiful suite overlooking Deià. It was incredibly spacious, with a large living area, elegant details, and a very warm, comfortable feeling throughout. One of the things that makes La Residencia so special is its connection to art. The hotel has an extensive collection of hundreds of artworks, including paintings, sculptures, and drawings, and you can really feel that artistic spirit in the way each space is decorated. The room also had its own jacuzzi, which made this little terrace feel even more peaceful and private. It was the perfect place to enjoy the views at any time of the day, whether in the soft afternoon light or later in the evening. Before heading out, I took a few minutes to set up my Saily eSIM for the trip. This video is sponsored by Saily, a simple eSIM app that helps you stay connected while traveling without needing to buy a physical SIM card or worry about expensing roaming fees. If you're not familiar with eSIMs, it's basically a digital SIM card that you install directly on your phone. With Saily, you just download the app, choose your destination or data plan, install the eSIM, and once it's active, you're ready to go and use mobile data abroad. This is one of those small things that makes traveling feel much easier, especially because for me, having internet while traveling is not really optional. I need it for maps, messages, reservations, and also to keep working while I'm away. Saily works in over 200 destinations worldwide and also offers regional and global plans, which is really helpful if you're traveling through more than one country. And if you have a trip coming up, you can get an exclusive 15% discount on Saily data plans by downloading the Saily app and using the code SoniaMota at checkout, or by going directly to saily.com/SoniaMota. Afterwards, we decided to spend some time outside and enjoy the beautiful May weather. It was one of those perfect spring days, not too hot, not too cold, just warm enough to spend a slow afternoon by the pool. La Residencia has 3 swimming pools, but we went to the adults-only pool, which felt a little more secluded from the rest of the hotel. It has this beautiful infinity edge and some of the best views over the village and the surrounding mountains. The hotel also has a spa area, which adds to that feeling of Belmond being a place where you can really slow down. Later in the day, as the sun began to set and the light became much softer, we went for dinner at Restaurant Miró, one of the restaurants of the hotel. The terrace has a beautiful view over the village, with the church at the top, the mountains all around, and the sea in the distance. And as the evening light changed, all the colors seemed to become warmer and more vibrant, and the whole village looked even more magical. The food was also wonderful, with inspiration from Mallorcan cuisine, and the dinner felt excellent from beginning to end. It was one of those meals where the setting, the food and the view all come together in such a beautiful way. The next morning started with the softest light. The sun was already beginning to rise behind the mountains, but only the highest peaks were illuminated at first, while the village and the hotel were still resting in the shade. We went for breakfast on the terrace by the pool, and there is something so lovely about having breakfast outside when the morning still feels very quiet, especially in a place surrounded by mountains. It was simple, relaxed, and exactly the kind of slow morning you hope for when staying somewhere like this. Before it got too late, we decided to walk into the village. Even in May, Deià can become quite busy during the day, so we wanted to explore it early while it was almost asleep. The streets were quiet, the shutters were still closed, and the sunlight was just beginning to reach some of the narrow lanes. Walking through Deià in the morning, when everything is still calm, felt like a dream. The village is full of narrow streets, limestone houses, wooden shutters, and little corners that seem to become more beautiful the slower you walk. As you slowly make your way up through the village, the views become more and more beautiful, opening over the valley where Deià sits, all the way to the sea. It is the kind of village where you don't really need a strict plan. You just walk, stop, notice the details, and let yourself get a little lost. Deià is not a very big village, so in 1 or 2 hours you can explore most of it quite easily. But I really recommend coming in the morning if you can, because it allows you to enjoy it in a much slower and quieter way before the streets become busier. It is also worth walking all the way up to the church of Sant Joan Baptista at the top of the village. From there, you get one of the most beautiful views over Deià, the valley, the sea, and even La Residencia, which blends so naturally into the terraced landscape and olive trees. Around lunchtime, we drove a few minutes outside Deià and made our way to Barretes, a restaurant hidden at the top of a hill. It is part of the small boutique hotel Xorc, and the setting is absolutely beautiful. The terrace has these expansive views over the Serra de Tramontana and the sea, with Saily hidden in the valley below. We had a lovely, relaxed lunch with good food, good wine, and the most beautiful views before heading back to Belmond to enjoy the rest of the afternoon. I hope you enjoyed coming along on this day in Deià and discovering a little more of this beautiful corner of Mallorca. And before you go, don't forget that if you have a trip coming up, you can get 15% off Saily data plans with the code Sonia Mota. Thank you so much for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, please make sure to subscribe and let me know in the comments if Deià is now on your travel list. Until next time.